We have established over the course of us talking that Phil is like as chill as they come.
Yeah.
My
told you he was a chill guy.
boy is chill, right? I mean, I feel like if you need to record your own like put me to sleep thing on some sort of like podcast. I mean, we need that.
crazy.
Like
Yeah,
your
so
voice, yo, I mean, I could go down like it's going down. I'm talking about hard sleep. But you guys know him in a different way, and you guys are around him all the time. And I want to know what's like the hypest you have ever seen Phil. Not chill Phil. We talking about hype Phil.
I mean, Phil's a pretty consistent dude. I mean, he's generally like that all the time. And I just said one thing I love about being around Phil is like I generally see him more happy when, you know, I do something or Jake does something and he gets super hype about it. Like that's probably when you catch him smiling the most. You know, you're gonna have a big old smile. And you see it. So I mean, I definitely would say times you want to see him most pumped up is when something like me or Jake do something or Ship or Bo was doing something.
I love it. It's okay. We like chill Phil.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying there needs to be some sort of like podcast that comes out of this of your own that is just telling bedtime stories or something. Because the way that America would be asleep because of you is wonderful. You're welcome for whatever is coming.
I'm going to try it out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to explore
Hey, that might be your next deal and you are welcome for that idea. You guys are getting ready to go into summer ball. Things get real in the summer. I want to know what's like the easiest workout and then what's like the hardest workout. Like that workout that when this is all over with, when you're done playing the game, you will never miss doing that again.
I would say, just speaking summertime, the worst thing we've ever done, probably that I can remember off the top of my head, would be what we call fighting tigers. It was one day in the summer. I don't remember how something happened. Coach Batson was not very happy. He got us on the sideline. And you got to go to the hash, back to the sideline, all the way down to the other sideline, back to the hash, and then finish through the line. And we did like 20 of those. And the time kept getting lower and lower and lower, and then at that time you're just cooked, sprinting, trying to make the times. And I think those are the times where team and brotherhood really gets built the most. Mm-hmm. I think just from where we're at as a team right now, I'm excited for the summer. I think it's a really good time. It's just us. We got the whole city or the town of Clemson to ourselves. It's just us pretty much here working out, grinding with each other. In the meeting rooms alone, no coaches, kind of just everybody taking initiative to lead, do their part, and buy into what we're going to do. And I think there was something we talked about 2 summers ago. It was called Die About It. We were talking about die about the paw. How hard are you going to work today? How much are you going to give up of yourself for the team? And I think I want to bring that back this summer, just to get guys on the same page for what we're about to do this season. I think it's going to be a special year. But I think just back to the summer workouts, I mean, those days are not fun at all. But like I said, I think those are the days that really build our team up the most and actually end up being the most important in the end. So,
what's the worst for you?
The worst, I would just say it's the days when we're doing a lot of cutting and like long distance run after we'll do something where we go like 10 yards back, then run 50. And it's cool after the first couple reps, but then when you get around rep 15 and you still got 5 to 10 more to go, you know, it gets a little tough. And cutting definitely makes it more tiring than just running straight. So days like that are tough. But honestly, like when it comes to the summer, I think a lot of the players like really look forward to it. A lot of us are ready just to put our head down, especially this summer with our team. You know, I think we're going to do a lot of maturing. So, I mean, it's nothing that I don't think there's really a workout where we feel like, yeah, I'm not going to miss that, because I think summer is generally some of the players' favorite time of the year.
Definitely mine.
Yeah, summer is a great time, man. Piggybacking off what Jake said, I'll probably say those fighting tigers. I remember vividly what he's talking about, and I just remember it being hot outside, and us just running for days. And like he said, it's tough. It's not easy. It's not for everyone. But, you know, looking back on it, I just feel nothing but proud, just because, you know, I did that with my teammates, and that's what the memories are about.
You roll me right into a great question as we continue to kind of talk about memories and things that once this is all said and done that you'll think back on. But they say that like sense of smell is like one of the strongest senses when it helps bring you back to a memory. So I want you to talk about like what smell is going to bring you back to Clemson and being in the pads, and like where are you? Are you in Jervy Meadows? Are you in, the bistro? Are you like in the stadium? Like where are you? What's that smell that's bringing you back here 20 years from now?
For me, it got to be the locker room. The locker room, I don't know what they spray in there. It's some smell, but it's so distinct. And every time I walk in there, I just imagine playing on the field. So I would say the locker room.
Yeah, I probably agree with Phil. I mean, you back at it when it smells like just must in there all the time. You gotta love it though. But yeah, definitely the locker room. When you smell in there, you back at it.
Yeah, for me, I would just say like the smell of like a summer morning. Like I don't know how to explain it really, but I don't know, just those practices out at Jervy. I think that's where people really get tried. People really get put to the test, and I think that's really, especially going right into the season, right at the end of fall camp, I think that's really just a time for where we just grind, old school style, kind of just always going to remember the Jervy practices, always going to remember the challenges that it brought, always going to remember the memories we had out there. And, I think I'll never forget practicing out there and how hot it gets.
We've talked about you guys being, in different positions and you're with your position groups and that sort of thing all the time. But you guys are some of the best of friends and hang out all the time. I want you to kind of love on each other for a second and talk about what you've learned from each other from a leadership standpoint, right? You guys are not the young guys in the room anymore. You are the leaders. And so what have you learned from each other that you bring back to your own position group from these guys right here?
I would say from Marcus starting off, learn Marcus, just be yourself, and just to truly embrace who you are as a man, and you should, keep faith first, keep Christ first. I get that from Marcus, and he's a driven guy. I see that in him. And he also just is very encouraging to people and kind to people. So, I like to encourage my teammates also, and just instill some grit in them. For Jake, I would say this my guy right here, and he's focused and locked in when the situation when something needs to get done. Jake, he can get it done, and he just taught me a lot about how to truly love yourself as a person and how to be confident as a person. He's a very confident person. You can see on the field, and that's something I just love about Jake. He doesn't change, and that's something I really appreciate about him.
I would say Marcus, kind of what Phil was saying. For Marcus, the thing that separates him, I would say, like his confidence. We're always hanging out, we're always competing at home, whatever it is. But Marcus, I'm a really confident guy. I love playing Marcus video games. I love playing Marcus shadow boxing. It's a lot of fun to compete again, whatever we're doing. And then on the field, I think just the confidence he plays with, like Phil was saying, the encouraging he does. I think that just rubs off on everybody, and I think the attitude that he brings, he believes in himself, he believes in the guy next to him. I think that instills confidence in the people that are playing with him. I think if you're playing with Marcus, I've heard guys say this on the O-line, that you know what he's going to bring, so you got to match that. So I think just being able to play at that high level all the time, and kind of just match his energy, match what he's going to bring, because that'll make everybody else better. And then Phil, back to Phil just being like a chill guy. I think Phil, the way he leads is really unique. And it's really fun to watch and learn from. I think just from me watching Phil, especially this year, I think Phil has really done a good job bringing young guys along with him, just the way he carries himself. I mean, Phil, everything he does with integrity. He does with high character. And you kind of just want your friends to be like Phil. You want everybody to kind of just act like how he does in every situation. Like, it doesn't matter what the situation is. He's always going to be level-headed, have the right perspective, and number one, he's always going to keep God first. He's helped me a lot in that aspect of my life and kind of just always giving me a different perspective or giving me a more eternal perspective on stuff and not getting so caught up in the moment. But I think, these are two of the best leaders we got on the team. So anything I can learn from those guys is really good.
With me, when it comes to Jake, man, that's my man. We know we compete in everything, and I think that's one of the biggest things I take from him is his competitive drive. He's just always competitive about everything. Like when we're in the house, like we're going at it. Like you would think it was personal the way we go at it, but I mean that's just something that he is consistently every day. And you got to bring that every day, and the consistency is something that I never really saw. Like I never know in the state of mind. Like I got to compete every day, and that's something I learned from him. And other thing is his confidence. I mean, I remember when I got here, I was still trying to build a lot of confidence in myself, especially with the opportunity I was getting, and just hanging out with him every day, seeing the way he carries himself, the conversations we have, and when we have good moments, we say these things, and you hear it. And I was like, this man confidence himself, and I see how it works for him. For me, I just try to take that back in my own life. I try to take it back to the room and just tell these guys, you got to think of yourself a certain way. And, I feel like if everybody saw themselves the way Jake sees himself, I feel like we would all really feel good about yourself. You know what I'm saying? So that's something I take for Jake. With Phil, the biggest thing with Phil for me is he's just so consistent and it's authentic. He doesn't lead and try to force it on anybody. He's not a person that talks a lot, but he's not going to force himself to, try to be this dude that he's not. And, I feel like sometimes with me, when I go in my room, I feel like I got to be something else because it's what my room is looking for. And when I watch Phil in his room, I just say you don't got to be that. You just got to truly be who you are. And I mean, Phil really leads everybody on the team just by the way he walks around the facility. So that's something that I definitely take around for Phil.